What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nintendo Land, and I hope you guys are all having a great Christmas Eve for those of you that are celebrating. But today, I really wanted to take some time to talk positively about Switch 2, even though we really don't know much about it outside of rumors and leaks, which actually tells us a lot about it if those rumors and leaks are true. According to Nintendo, we are apparently going to get information about Switch 2 by the end of the fiscal year, which is March 31st of 2025. So from now to March 31st, we will actually finally see this console. So how many days is that? Well, it's just around 100, and to be exact, it's about 97 days until we actually for sure get told about Switch 2. Now, Nintendo actually revealed this information back in May, on May 7th to be exact, which has been 231 days since that announcement from Nintendo on Twitter, which is crazy. It's even crazier when you realize back then they did announce that they would also give out information about this in waves, but waiting 231 days and still no new information really about the console is kind of insane. But 182 days after that first announcement, we got something else, at least from Furukawa, where he actually took to Twitter again just to reconfirm that there'd be some type of information revealed by the end of the fiscal year, and also just to confirm that Switch 2 would be backwards compatible, which I guess is some information, so I guess you could see this as a wave, but still, even 182 days later, just giving us this is pretty insane. However, like I previously stated, it's been 231 days since that prior announcement, since that first reveal that there would be something Switch 2 announced before the end of the fiscal year. And guess what? That gap is closing, because from now until March 31st, we have 97 days for them to reveal something, which in its own, I had to admit, is pretty exciting. But I'm actually going to chop that down significantly, because I think there is a lot less days than 97. Now, real quick before I get into my theory as to what I mean by this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the Switch 2 content and just the Nintendo content in general. You guys are amazing. You guys got us to about 88 brand new subscribers in just yesterday's video. And once again, I am so humble and I am so thankful to have viewers like you guys. So if you guys want to leave a like and subscribe, definitely do so. Let's see if we can reach around 100 with just today's video. But thank you for tuning in, and let's dive into how many days we actually should have left until Switch 2's reveal. Look, I'm going to start off by saying I don't know anything. I don't have any information that other people might have or something like that. No. All I know is that there's rumors going around stating that there's going to be some reveal in January, but how many times have we heard these rumors? We were hearing this as far back as the beginning of this year in March. We heard them in September and October, even some in November, and still no presentation. So to me, these are just people throwing out more dates just because we're getting closer to the end, so January sounds more likely. And, I have to be honest, duh. With March 31st being the end, of course, some people are going to start predicting in January. But personally, I want to say, I think it's safe to say that we can cut off March. I don't know if Nintendo would actually go that long. And I know a lot of people say, you know what, it's Nintendo. They very well could go to the very end of the date that they gave. And yes, they definitely could. But I think with all the recent leaks coming out of the console, which seem to be very real, by the way, these are real accessory companies leaking what the Switch 2 actually looks like. There's leaks coming out every single day, so Nintendo waiting until March sounds like it would immediately shoot themselves in the foot with this new console, with people already knowing what it is, getting conceptions or misconceptions about the console. It's just not a good look. They're going to want to hurry up and get out on this as fast as they possibly can, so waiting until March, the very end, sounds pretty bad. So to me, realistically, I feel like we have about 66 days max. That would be from now all the way until February 28th of 2025. And Nintendo never really has presentations or anything at the very, very end of a month, like the final week of a month. I could be wrong, but I feel like I might even want to cut off that week as well and bump it a little closer, while also making it a day of the week that makes sense, which will be the last Thursday before that final week of February, which will give us Thursday the 20th. So honestly, in my head, I think the furthest they would go out is until the third week of February, which will bring us right around 58 days from today, which seems a lot closer and a lot easier to swallow. But like I said, this is the max amount of days to that point, which means we could easily get a reveal within any of those days beforehand. I told you before, mentally I was on Team February. It just made sense. I felt like it was that one period where there was a gap because we have Donkey Kong actually coming out in January and Xenoblade coming out in March. There's some rumors that there's some more Switch games still coming. For instance, Kirby Planet Robobot is apparently getting an HD remaster of some sort, so that could be a February game we just don't know about yet, that they decided to reveal last second or something. Who knows? They've done it before in the past. It's not a surprise. I mean, they literally shadow dropped Metroid Prime remastered, so this is something they definitely could do. But with that said, February is completely open right now. There's nothing going on in that month. However, there's some stuff that definitely does impact this process in my head, and I really just want to say I'm actually moving away from February and moving up to January, and here's why. Every single investors meeting, Nintendo has had to bring up this console one way or another, giving some type of information to keep investors excited for the thing and reassure them that this thing is coming along smoothly. And I'm telling you right now, they go into next year, into the next investors meeting, and still not have information on this console and still saying it's not the end of the fiscal year yet, is going to make investors really angry. I mean, to the point where I feel like it's just really gonna hurt Nintendo. I don't see how in the world they don't have this thing revealed by then. And if you look at Nintendo's schedule that's slated to happen soon, we have a 9 months earning release slated for February 4th. So that is their next investors meeting, the very beginning of February, which makes me want to believe that they kind of have to reveal this new console before February even starts. So literally in the month of January. Especially now with all the leaks, I almost feel like investors will kind of have to bring them up as well, because there's so many out there. And they're not just random leaks from random users. These are accessory companies showing off what the Switch 2 is going to look like with their gadgets in hand, which is crazy. And I feel like investors are going to have to bring this up. Like, you know, your console's floating around out there from these, manufacturers and accessory companies and partners of you guys. Even game companies have been hinting at this thing. What's going on? It's going to start to raise questions, and I really don't think there's a possibility Nintendo can even wait anywhere near that date. So with that logic, if we literally just took the whole month of January as a possibility and looked at the very last Thursday of the month of January, that will be on the 30th. Thursday the 30th, that is, which will give us about 37 days from now until then. Based on all that logic and information, if we calculate everything all together, we have about a maximum of a 37-day wait if we are on Team January. If you're on Team February, you have about a maximum of 58, maybe a little bit lower. And if you're on Team March, maybe around 97, a little bit lower as well. I'm absolutely not Team March, and if somehow we do have to wait until March, I will be absolutely flabbergasted. Like, I don't even know what to even think in that situation. I just couldn't even imagine. So it's more along the lines of January or February. And if it wasn't for all these leaks coming out from these accessory companies and the investors meeting in early February and some rumors circulating about January, it's all kind of adding up to make a lot of sense. So I'm going to move away from February as well. So realistically, to me, I think we have around 37 days until we actually see or hear about the Switch 2, which is more than exciting. It's actually super exciting. Now, once again, don't take this as truth, it could be February, it could even be March, who knows what Nintendo's doing. This just sounds the most likely to me based on all the data around it and around this situation. Also, something else to mention is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD actually does come out January 16th, so I feel like if I'm Nintendo and if I'm in Nintendo's shoes, I want to get this thing out the first couple of weeks of January. Like, as soon as we enter the new year, let's put all these leaks and people's worries to rest by just revealing the thing as soon as we jump into the new year. I think that would be a great way to kick off the hype cycle, get everybody excited like you did with the original Switch in that first presentation, show off all the new games, show off the console, and just get people hype for it to release. It doesn't have to be super soon. I mean, I have no problem waiting until April, May, even June. Shoot, even if it's like holiday at this point, as long as we see and hear about the thing and hear about the games, I think is all people want at this point. But with only around 6 to 7 days left of December, we are so close to January of 2025, and I can't wait to start a new hype cycle, hopefully with a lot better year with exciting reveals for Nintendo. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about this logic and my reasoning, and do you agree with me or disagree with me? Let me know why, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys, and Merry Christmas Eve.